Well, hello YouTube, it's me Fortmaster, and welcome back to another upisnotjump reaction. And man, it's been a little while since I've done a reaction to one of his things. So yeah, this is Fallout 4's DLC is an absolute nightmare. This is why. God, like I've said before, like Fallout 4 was like so close to being perfect. It's like massively better combat than previous games, much more customization when it comes to like the way you look, and eventually like how you can like modify weapons and the settlement system, which I actually do like the settlement system. I just wish it was slightly more on a grid so that it's easier to put things together. And then added in with the DLC, with one of the DLCs, the ability to make your own robots, which that was so fun. But they just dropped the ball when it came to the actual RP sections of the RPG. But yeah, all the DLCs, like I'm thinking, yeah, a lot of them were fun. I have to say, I think what my favorite was Nuka World, simply because of like the location, like actually going around an amusement park, and you kind of partially side with the raiders before you kind of like stab them in the back later on. I like that. That's fun. It's sad that the only companion you get in that DLC is also a raider who you have to, kill, if you when you betray them. But you just have to make sure you get his perk before you beat him. But yeah, I don't really have anything else really to say, so let's actually get into this video then. So yeah, of course, as always, original videos linked in the description if you haven't seen it for some reason. Corner video will lead to my Let's Play of the day. And if you like this video or any other video that I make, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because almost 3/4 of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'd very much like that to change, because my next big goal is hopefully hit 6,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Now, let's get on to upisnotjump's pure lunacy then, shall we?
And so it was decreed by Holy Atom.
I didn't notice the scars he had applied. Wow, okay.
For making 4 of your 6 DLCs about building settlements, you have been sentenced to death by Atom's holy fire.
So you're gonna send a nuke off on it?
Before we do that, I better review the games first. So after the release of Fallout 4, Bethesda put out 6 whole expansions for it. DLCs, if you will. To keep things simple for this video, I'm going to play and then review them in the order Todd released them onto our souls. The very first one released was the Automatron DLC. We got Automaton, Automatron, or Automatron. Automatron. So this DLC starts off with you saving a load of people from some robots, and there's only one survivor from the attack, a robot called Ada, who joins you as a companion. And Bethesda, guys, if you're going to make us pay $10 for a 3-hour DLC, maybe give the new companion you make a proper run animation. Don't just speed up their walk animation, I can tell. So in this...
Oh god, I never noticed that. Oh god, it is just a spin up walk animation. Wait, can Protectron legs even move that quickly? Oh!
DLC robots that shoot apparently nothing but fireworks are terrorizing the Commonwealth. You can put the chair up if you want. The robots are all being sent by someone called the Mechanist, with the stated goal of killing all of the raiders in the Commonwealth. But they are misinterpreting their programming and killing everyone they meet. The bulk of this DLC is fighting your way to the Mechanist through their underground lair. And initially what stands out to me about this DLC is how much better it looks than the base game. I've harped on about this before. Whoever says harped, I've gone on about this loads before, but as we've seen even in Starfield recently, the lighting in the creation engine is just so bad, it makes many areas in these games look f***ing awful. So to combat that, they've kept this DLC all dark and moody. I'm gonna put this down. I honestly do think this is why the Fallout London mod is so dark, just to totally avoid Bethesda's lighting engine.
Honestly, that's the one thing I hate about Fallout London, is that when it is nighttime, you cannot see a single thing.
Is it because it's correctly simulating British weather? It's the middle of the day. Is my skin too shiny because of all the oils I've put on it? What also works about this DLC is the setting the Mechanist has chosen for their lair. This area before the war is where subjects were taken to have their brains removed and turned into robo-brains. And as you travel through here, you can read the transcripts of the experiments that were performed on them, and it's pretty grim.
Honestly, the fact that all these robo brains, that the majority of the robo brains you find out through any of the Fallout games were made using, criminals, some of which may have not been entirely mentally stable, explains a lot of the reason why they failed.
I can't see. Oh my God. What have you people done to me? I can't feel my body. I can't feel anything. Please. For the love of God, tell me what the hell you've done!
Combine this with the creepy music and dark visuals, and this creates a pretty effective tone. Outside of this though, this DLC is pretty standard stuff. The whole thing only has three fairly simple characters, and the main bulk of the Mechanist lair is one long non-stop battle with literally hundreds of the walking light shows that are these robots. Oh God. Who wrote this? The final fight especially, you just stand in the middle of the lair, shooting one robot after another, like a game of Duck Hunt that just never seems to end.
Yeah, it's even easier when, like me, you come into it, loaded up to the absolute gills, just, in a giant hulking suit of Exo-1 power armor.
And after you've killed enough robots to populate Iceland, the Mechanist surrenders and gives you control of her lair. Her? When did Fallout become so woke? Next thing you know, I'll be played by a woman.
Hey guys, upisnotman here.
Don't put your arms out too far. Then after you beat the Mechanist, you unlock a series of quests that you can do for her, which involves hunting down more of her robots. And not only does receiving these quests give us some of the best dialogue in the game.
Tracking? Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
They are without a doubt
Yes.
the worst quests in this entire game, and that really is saying something. Basically, she gives you a quest marker on your map where you can go to find one of her rogue robots. You then travel to that location, kill one robot, travel back to the Mechanist, talk with her.
Yes.
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 She gives you the location of another robot, and that's it. You just repeat this infinitely. Jesus Christ, why bother? Why not just sell copies of Automatron that you open and they contain one middle finger? How is this so long? The other big selling point of this mod, of course, is it unlocks the ability for you to build your own robots, and also mix and match robot parts on existing robots. So now you can have a Mr. Handy with 2 arms. Well, slow down, Bethesda. And
Honestly, I still remember the first thing I ever did was turn poor little Codsworth into a giant sentry bot. Like, it's just the best thing I could have done.
this is nice and all, but to what end? I've completed the game. There's nothing else to do. I'm 35. It's time to lower the energy. The only purpose I really found for any of this was building robots that let me commit copyright infringement.
Robot daughters? This here's Lulabelle 7.
Yoo-hoo!
Daisy May 128K.
Yoo-hoo!
And the Crushinator. Yoo-hoo.
Oh yeah, I made that.
God, I've said before, I discovered upisnotjump through his, quirky, Rick and Morty machinima videos. God, they were funny. I mean, granted, probably a little cringy nowadays, but still, they were funny.
Let's play another.
You think you could help me out? Whatever.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
Okay, we need to move on.
Oh, the Wasteland Workshop, all right.
Look, a DLC dedicated to the game's settlement base building. No, I can do this! Wasteland Workshop. This fucking Wasteland Workshop gives you loads of new items to craft in your settlements. But its main feature is the ability for you to build traps.
And honestly, that's a thing I've literally never used in any of my playthroughs ever.
So that you can capture various wasteland animals or people. You can then use these captured creatures to hold fights in your settlements. Oh no, we're moving on. The official trailer for this DLC weirdly just starts with a load of random fights and explosions, adequately summarizing how Bethesda sees Fallout as a series nowadays. But eventually it does show us what the DLC is about. You see, the way it works is you build the cage and then you wait for the appropriate thing to be caught. I know where I am. This for me took 6 full 24-hour wait cycles within the game. But can your time really be wasted when you're doing something pointless? Then once you've caught something, you can assign a follower to fight it. In the trailer they used Preston Garvey, so in my game I did the same and began the fight. But the thing is with all of this, Preston can't die. So this fight never ends. It just goes on and on. I left my settlement for several days, came back, and they were still fighting. It's like Gandalf and the Balrog over here. Also, most of what you can capture to stage fights, like the gunners, raiders, super mutants, feral ghouls, when you release them, every single person in your settlement will attack as well. So if you want to stage one-on-one fights with these creatures, you have to build walls around the entire fight. And not only is, of course, the base building in this game an absolute disaster. What have you done, Todd? It also means people can't watch the fights that you set up, which I thought was the whole damn point. So yes, this DLC only costs $5, so it's hardly the end of the world, but I can think of at least one better way to use $5.
Honestly, again, literally never used any of those in any of the times I've done a playthrough of Fallout 4.
It's definitely gone. I'd climb out after it, but I'm not wearing any trousers.
Who cares? Bar Harbor.
Damn, son.
Don't say son.
But speaking of fog, now is a great time to mention this video's sponsor, War Thunder, because of fog of and 7 days of premium account. And that's it of the Fog of War, now back to the Fog of Far Harbor. In this DLC, we come to a foggy island in search of a missing lady. When we get here though, we find 3 factions fighting to survive. Far Harbor, which has a radioactive fog creeping in threatening to kill them. Acadia, which is a group of synths led by Nick Valentine's brother Dima. And the Children of Atom, a religious group who believes the bombs dropping was a holy event, as every split atom results in the creation of a new universe within them. I just want to make sure we can see the shoes.
How many of those, like, floral 60s pants and shorts do you have?
And overall, this DLC is probably the best thing Bethesda has done since the Oasis quest in Fallout 3. And it looks like that won't ever change. Far Harbor is without a doubt better than Fallout 4 in every single way. The writing, characters, overarching plot, it's all great. So what have I written? It's all an improvement. Its terrible visuals have also been fixed here too. In this case, by making it so that we can't even see them. What's really...
Again, it's that whole thing. Adding fog to a game helps hide so many of its flaws. Just ask Silent Hill 2.
bugging me is there's a label on the back of this and it's wriggling up my butt. In Far Harbor, we have to decide which of these factions to help or hinder. But what makes these DLCs so good and so much better than the base game is how well these factions are characterized. They have all been so well written that you can sympathize with each group here, and they all have relatable pros and cons. It meant when playing, I genuinely found it difficult to decide who to help, and there was really no right answer. Also, just take a look at the art direction in this DLC.
Yeah, it's all dark and gloomy. Very atmospheric. Honestly, I know... Actually, how old is Fallout 4 at this point? I know it's pretty old. Yeah, 2015, 10 years old this year. But I still think it looks like, at least I still think it looks great. I mean, granted, you know, the lighting of it could definitely use some work. Like, honestly, they need to update the engine massively. But still, like, even this still looks great.
Just look how striking the Children of Atom's base and leader look. It all really effectively shows how deeply insane their religion has made them. And it's the same with Dima and all of his augmentations. It shows how far he is willing to push himself to achieve his goals.
I mean, it also doesn't help that with his model, he has relatively limited memory capacity, so I don't hesitate to think that most of these are just added on hard drives he's plugged into his brain.
Speaking of Dima, he is by far my favourite character in this whole DLC, possibly the entire game. He believes that he's a good person and wants peace through peaceful means. And almost always in sci-fi plots like this, the character would just be lying or have a warped view of reality. But the twist in this story spoiler warning, is that whenever someone gets in the way of Dima's vision for peace, he simply murders them and then wipes his memory so that his conscience remains clear. And you see, I've watched a lot of sci-fi. Weird flex. And this is definitely one of the best executions of a character like this that I've ever seen. It's great. It's like if Data was a serial killer, but he just had no idea. All the evidence points towards me, Captain. I think the best example of the writing in this DLC is when Dima asks us if we are a synth. And of course, we say no, but then he keeps going. He explains how most synths have fake memories and asks us to really think. How far back can we remember? And out of nowhere, Nora reveals that, like us the player, she only remembers as far back as being in front of that bathroom mirror at the start of the game, and remembers nothing else of her earlier life. Now this is really interesting because not only does it retroactively fix Fallout 4's terrible opening, it also ends up being a kind of meta commentary on the relationship between a player and the person they're controlling, while at the same time creating a more personal, emotional connection to them. I'm sorry, but who the wrote this DLC, and where were they when Father was being written? Now, that's not all.
Again, the nonsense that is the Institute storyline in Fallout 4, the less said about it, the better.
To say all of Far Harbor's missions are good.
Oh god, right, this one.
What the fuck is this piece of shit? But outside of this DLC's plot, things are pretty good as well. I'm a really weird writer.
Yeah.
The darker visuals and radioactive fog make this area feel distinctly different from the base game. However, if you're thinking the radioactive fog creates a new gameplay challenge where you need to keep searching for anti-radiation meds as surviving the environment becomes a key aspect of the exploration. Wait, what? No, it doesn't. See, unlike the New Vegas DLCs, you're able to come to Far Harbor with as much gear as you can carry. So I of course had enough Rad-X and Radaway to make the radiation here nothing more than a gentle breeze.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of gear, because you can bring all of your
Honestly, I mean, like, okay, honestly, I've thought about it, but, like, the fact that you have, like, creators like upisnotjump here who are just so ready and so prepared to, like, embarrass himself on a video online that will probably be on there forever, like, that's a little inspirational that, you know, he has enough, you know, confidence to do that.
Most powerful weapons to Far Harbor. You really have no need for all of the new weapons this section introduces, and I just think it's really bad design. Imagine arriving in this hostile environment with nothing, and the only thing you're given is the new harpoon gun. You would be forced to rely on this thematically appropriate single-shot weapon while wandering through the creepy fog. I just think this location and all of the gear available could have been balanced to make it a much more engaging experience. It really could have been the icing on this delicious robot. Overall, though, I of course thought this DLC was really good, especially since it only cost... Oh wait, I spat that out too early. Sorry, let's do that again. Especially since...
Again, the contraptions and stuff like that. Stuff I never used.
Alright, here we go. Another DLC entirely about settlements and crafting.
Honestly, the only time I've ever used the contraptions was when there was, like, when I downloaded a mod that allowed you to basically automate ammo production and stuff like that. Other than that, it's another DLC that I've never really used, like, at all.
With this DLC installed, you can now build contraptions, and they work a little bit like the game Mousetrap. I actually built a giant contraption when this DLC came out, and it shows off this workshop better than I could ever describe.
Great.
Go. Oh. That's right, it's the most entertaining video ever made. The thing is, outside of what you've seen there isn't really anything else in this DLC to talk about. All I know is while making that video, I learned that the contraption workshop is absolute bullshit. There is a bit in my giant contraption where some balls are released. Just tuck them in. And these balls, and these balls, and these balls, and these balls. And these balls activate these switches, which then in turn activate these firework launchers. We all good? We understand? No, this was all fake. None of this worked. This is Bethesda we're talking about. In reality, these ball switches just don't work. In every instance, they just immediately turn off and the firework launchers aren't activated. Hypothesis. The balls have to stay in the switch, so the switch will stay on and then the fireworks will fire. And so I tried that. I blocked the ramp and then then set the balls running. But when the balls stop at the switch, now the switch just doesn't turn on at all. Also, for those wondering, here is a single ball switch system. The ball goes through, the switch stays on after that, and the fireworks fire.
So it only works if it's a single thing and not if you have a long line. Okay. There's some obvious code spaghetti going on there that I don't even want to think about what's going on there.
Solution. Only ever use one ball switch in any closed contraption, as that works correctly. Great. Problem solved. No, it is not solved. That just means this DLC has no purpose. All of these contraptions have absolutely no tangible in-game use. They're just here for fun. And the fun here is produced by building complex contraptions that let you do impressive stunts. But if it isn't able to do that, then it's just failed at its stated goal.
And the whole problem is, and I've had the same problem in a few games that are similar to like Fallout 4, where, you know, they have these fun, like, oh, physics puzzles and physics things where you can have fun, you know, goofing off and stuff like that. But this, in Fallout 4, it's all in first person, all like in survival mode. You can't fly around when you're or anything. You can't automatically reset it if something goes wrong and try again. You have to manually pick up every ball that was launched, reload them back in. It is a nightmare.
All right, let's move on.
This is not Fallout 4.
Finally. It's over. All the crafting and workshop DLCs are done.
Vault-Tec. I mean, granted, the Vault-Tec one wasn't as bad, and it could be fun, you know, building your own vault and stuff like that. But again, it falls into the whole problem that, oh, you're doing all of this in first person, so it's kind of limiting, and that's to the point that's annoying.
That's right. Bethesda released 2 paid DLCs back-to-back that do nothing but let you build new objects in your settlements. What is this? Bethesda?
Yeah?
With this DLC, you are now able to build vault-themed settlements and also start and run your own vault. And the thing is, I actually quite like this DLC.
Yeah.
Oh no, there goes my credibility. Look, these other 2 workshop DLC, they just added shit to your build menu and nothing else. They barely even had the slightest semblance of a tutorial on how all the new items worked.
Yeah.
The Vault-Tec Workshop, though, actually has a scripted
It has a
story
quest,
where you need to track
yes!
down the overseer of Vault 88.
Sorry, I was called outside to help with a few things.
And with them, you can start your own vault. As part of this, you interview Wastelanders for their eligibility to be vault dwellers, travel the wasteland gathering blueprints for new items you can craft, and conduct experiments on your new vault dwellers. The experiments you run even affect the stats of your settlement, meaning they actually have an in-game use. Look, it's not going to win any awards, but I thought it was quite fun for what it
No, yeah, it definitely was the whole concept of actually being able to run your own vault. I mean, wasn't that literally, you know, oh god, what was the name of it? It was the Fallout mobile game where that was literally a state. You just built a vault and managed it. Like honestly, that was fun, but being able to do it like in an actual Fallout game, like that just brings it to the next level. Even if it does, you know, have all the jank that comes with the normal Fallout game.
Oh no! The thing is, you all know how I feel about this game's settlement building. I'm not gonna forget this. But undeniably, the settlement building is a big part of Fallout 4. When this game came out, it was largely what people spoke about and shared. And to this day is one of the main reasons people are still playing Fallout 4. However, when you make a game in the Fallout series and a huge part of that game's marketing is about how you are going to be able to build settlements, and you design the game so that a major part of the exploration is about collecting items so that you can use them to craft more settlements, and you fill the game with 30 different unlockable settlements, choosing to make it so that none of these settlements is allowed to be a vault, the most recognizable aspect of Fallout as a brand, and only allowing people to build vault settlements if they pay an extra $5 on the base game price. It's such a dick move, I expect all of Bethesda's genitals have changed zip code.
Yeah.
I think all that needs rewriting. Nuka World fucking sucks.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad.
I'm here. Look, I want to say up front that clearly a lot of work went into this DLC, with its visual design especially being some of the best in the entire series. The variety of environments, the rides, the Nuka Quantum River, and all of the park's surrounding areas all look distinctly different and interesting. So much work went into this, so much love and care, but it's just rubbish. The problem is with this DLC's story. See, in the Nuka World DLC, you travel to the pre-war theme park Nuka World and find it to be overrun with raiders. The only real option you're given in this whole DLC is to join and help the raiders. If you don't do this, most of the DLC's content immediately becomes locked out. And this was a shame for me because in this game I was role-playing as a good guy. But hey, it's been a long week of my character doing things that she would never normally do. Yeah, build that ball track. Let's become King of the Raiders.
I mean, again, like, the way I played it was, I'm going to, basically use them for my own betterment. So I help them out until, it's right about I help them out, get all the rewards, steal all the stuff, just before the end, that's when I, kill them all.
King of the Raiders.
What happens is, we arrive to Nuka World, and within about 30 minutes, we've killed its existing leader, and we're made the new Raider King. And after this, we are told that there are 3 Raider factions in Nuka World, and we're gonna have to decide who to support. The issue with all of this, though, is outside of how these Raiders look, there isn't really any difference between them. And I talked to all of these different Raider leaders at length, but all I learned was, Mags of the Operators wants caps, Nisha of the Disciples doesn't want caps, but Mason of the Pack, well, he's different. No, he wants caps. The game asks you to back one of these people, but I'm sure no one really had any idea who to pick. I even did several quests for each faction, hoping to learn more about them, but it just made things worse. See, in the first rounds of quests that these leaders give you, Nisha asks you to put a slave collar on someone, Mags asks you to murder someone, and Mason, well, he's different. No, he asks you to put a slave collar on someone. Even when I ask each of them for more information on the target they've set for me, here's how it goes down.
Who are we talking about here?
Some raiders.
Who are we talking about here?
Some nobody.
Who are we talking about here?
Super mutants.
And then, having learned nothing about any of these factions, we then have to go clear out Nuka World for one of them. I chose the first clear out Galaxy Zone as it was the closest to me. And this is it, people. I found it. This is officially the worst quest in Fallout's history, if you exclude all of Fallout 76. I arrive at the Galaxy Zone and find that I have to explore the area and collect 20 star cores.
Honestly, I know where he's going at here, and I can agree. This one theme park was the worst. I hated trying to find those cores. That was horrible.
Star core. And so off I go. And unlike Far Harbor, there are no new enemies here. Just every single kind of robot in the Fallout canon over and over and over and over and over and over. Galaxy Zone has got to be the biggest area in this entire game. It took me well over an hour and a half of non-stop fighting to get through its many sections. Just look at this. Look at it. And it's like this. Everywhere, every inch of this park, and it's the same thing for hours and hours. And also keep in mind that Galaxy Zone is just one of 5 areas that I need to clear out. And while, yeah, they're all vastly different in theme, the gameplay is all exactly the same. In Kiddie Kingdom, you kill 100 ghouls, Nuka World Bottling Plant 1,000 miler, Safari Adventure 10,000 Gator Claws, but Dry Rock Gulch, now, that's different. In this area, a new enemy is introduced to the Fallout canon, and thus we must explore and learn about. Now you just fucking decimate them! After clearing each area, you then have to decide which of the 3 factions you want running Nuka World. Wow. And unlike Far Harbor, where it was difficult because you had to weigh up the many moral and socio-economic factors, here it was just difficult because I couldn't remember the difference between the disciples and the operators.
Honestly, again, basically what I did was I just rotated. It's like, oh, you get this one, you get this one, you get this one, this one, and then, like, when it got, it's like, oh yeah, there's only 5 here. One of them's going to be a short. That's kind of sad. Well, it's time for them to die.
Then, after you've decided who gets what, you return to the Raiders. And here is where I expected to find them arguing about my decisions. But instead, we're told by Shank here, who the fuck is Shank? That we are going to spread our influence into the Commonwealth. And from here, the DLC shifts completely and becomes entirely about building settlements. Excuse me for 1 minute.
Again, like, I usually play good guy characters. I never did the raiding into the Commonwealth bit. I couldn't. What is he chanting?
And so it was decreed by Holy Atom
For making 4 of your 6 DLCs about building settlements, you have been sentenced to death by Atom's holy fire. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. Oh, and don't forget you can play War Fun.
Oh god, honestly. Again, I love the Fallout series, but just everything that's been happening with it. Like, I know they just announced, well, not just announced, but a bit ago, they announced, you know, Season 2 of the Fallout show. And the stuff they've been showing, like, I don't like it. Like, they're gonna be, like, Caesar's Legion, New Vegas Fallen, Ghoul the Kings. Honestly, it's the whole thing. It's like, I love this franchise, and I love what it could be. I just don't like who's in charge of it right now. But yeah, that's definitely going to be it for now. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.